Hi, my name is Rochelle Pardo, and this is my report on due diligence, private placement memorandum, private placement offering, as well as the anatomy of a term sheet. Due diligence is an investigation or an audit of a potential investment. It's a way for an investor to protect themselves. Why is due diligence necessary? It's a way for the investor to confirm who the company says they are. They want to identify any potential problems. They gather information in regards to the investment, and they want to determine whether or not the company meets the investment criteria. The investor wants to make sure they know who they're investing in without just handing over their money, so they do their due diligence for their own protection. There is such a thing as doing too much due diligence, because if they do too much, it may offend the company. Private Placement Memorandum, or PPM, is a document given to potential investors from companies trying to raise capital. So the purpose is to present investment opportunities and risk to the potential investors. There are different things included in the PPM, such as the risk factors associated with the company. They issue a full disclosure of how the company plans to use the money that's invested in them, the compensation, any conflict of interest, the terms of the contract, the structure of the company's financials, and also a subscription agreement. The subscription agreement includes investor certification and the purchase agreement. Private placement offering, or PPO, is the issuance of securities to a small number of investors to raise money. A PPO is regulated by the SEC, but does not have to register with the SEC. Average investors typically do not know about the offering until after the fact. There can be no more than 35 accredited investors. Accredited investors are also known as sophisticated investors. PPOs are different from public offerings in the fact that SEC trusts that the people involved in these transactions will do their due diligence when investing in a company. Term sheet is a non-binding contract between an investor and a company. There's an early stage term sheet when a company is looking for seed money, and there's also later stage term sheets which are during the A and B rounds of funding, meaning that a company is already started and they have hit some sort of milestone that they need money to expand. On the term sheet are terms that are negotiable and will eventually make up a formal legal binding contract. Although the term sheet is not legally binding, the parties cannot discuss any of the negotiations involved. Some important topics on the term sheet are ownership, governance, and investors' return. In terms of ownership, what the investor is looking for is what their ownership ratio is going to be compared to the company's. They want some deciding factors. They want control of the board. However, a lot of times when it comes to the board of directors, it's usually half the investors, half the founders, and then they include a neutral party, which ends up being the deciding factor. For the investors' return, the investors want to make sure that they get their money back. So in terms of liquidation, investors are typically preferred shareholders, so that way they can get their capital back no matter what. But these terms are stated all in the term sheet and are negotiated, because a lot of times investors try and get more money than their capital, leaving the founders with no money at all. One important factor when negotiating a term sheet is to hire a corporate lawyer. Although it might be expensive, it's good for the company in the long term. They'll help you negotiate everything and they have experience to do so. And that's it. Thank you.